You know, Marlo Thomas is an American icon. She's a feminist, she's an accomplished actress, and a best-selling author. Well, now she's talking to John about her latest book and about reinventing your life.
The one and only Marlo Thomas, actress and best-selling author, is here to talk about her latest book, It Ain't Over Till It's Over. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you so much.
I love the title.
Isn't it good? Yogi Berra said it first.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, but it's all about the stories and the inspiration that these stories can give people. First off, before we dive into some of these stories, how did you get these stories? I love this story about getting the stories.
Well, I travel around the country a lot raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and I kept meeting these women who telling me that they were stuck in their lives. I'm 42 years old. My kids are grown up. My dream is to kind of run out on me. Now what do I do? And I thought, wow, what an interesting dilemma. Because if you're 42 years old or 45 years old or 50 years old, you could have 40 years left.
Yeah.
You will have 40 years left. So what are you going to do with it? So you kind of have to invent another dream. So what I love about the book is that it shows 60 different women who I found all across this country who said, okay, I'm going to go for it.
You talk about Layla Fanucci, who decided to become an artist. You also introduce us to Gailey McCracken. What did she do?
Well, she was amazing. Gailey was a graphic artist.
She was an artist.
She was an artist, a graphic artist, and she was putting together a medical journal for some company, and she said to her friend, this is what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be in medicine. And her friend said, well, you're only 38 years old. You could do it now. She said, if I did it now, I wouldn't be a doctor till I was like 50. She said, well, you're going to be 50 anyway. So she's a doctor. I mean, and I just think that's so thrilling because it ain't over. You can do it.
So there's other stories too, like Natasha Coleman. I mean, she saved her own life.
Right.
What did she do?
She was 430 pounds. She was on an airplane, and she went to put that seatbelt on, and it wouldn't close. And then they brought the extender, and it still wouldn't close. And she was so humiliated. She said, okay, I am going to, for the first time in my life, really take this weight off. So she started to work out at the gym. She got on the treadmill, broke the treadmill, and fell on the floor.
Really?
And was hurt and embarrassed.
Sure.
And she said, I'm going to do it. She was a size 32. She's now a size 10. People have a eureka moment.
Yeah.
There's a moment when you say, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it. She had it with the strap.
Yeah.
Gailey McCracken had it when her friend said, you're going to be 50 anyway. There's a moment when you say, yes, I'm going to go for it.
Well, tell us about the National Day of Reinvention.
Well, we're going to do a national book party. It's called a Together. A Together.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's great. I'm not sure the date. I hope you have the date there.
It's the 29th, April 29th.
Right. And everybody's going to come in and Skype themselves in. Thousands and thousands of women are having book parties at their houses and bringing in maybe 10 friends. And we're going to send a free book to the woman who's the host. And we're all going to talk by Skype and talk about this book and any other things that they want to talk about, their own reinvention and how they want to change their life.
You know what I like about the book and about all of this is right back to where we started, because didn't you change women's role on TV? I mean, you were reinventing television years ago.
Thank you. Yes, I had a part in that. I was part of the whole mass movement of women who were doing different things.
But you've been committed to women's issues.
I have been. When we see that the society isn't changing as quickly as we want it to, we have to take it into our own hands because nobody's going to rescue us. All these women that had these ideas for how to change their lives, they're not waiting for the prince to come along with the glass slipper. No one is going to rescue you. You are your best resource.
And that's what the book can help people do. I mean, help them find their way. Now, I do want to ask you about your prince, though.
Yeah.
How is our buddy Phil Donahue?
He's wonderful. He's a good guy.
You want to know something about Phil Donahue? I worked with him briefly.
Oh, yes.
On another network. And he would always get lost in the building. So I would always help Phil Donahue find the men's room.
You're kidding.
So he was always so pleasant. Now, Phil Donahue, of course, is another icon, but a nice down-to-earth guy.
He's a good man.
And before we let you go, I grew up in Detroit.
Oh, you did?
So we always loved Danny Thomas. What was it like growing up with Daddy?
He was great. My father was exactly what you thought he was. There were no hidden agendas. He was a funny guy. He was sweet. One of the things I like about Phil that's very much like my father's, there's a basic sweetness and a goodness there. They care about other people. They're kind to people. I really love that in men and women, but sometimes you don't find it in men.
Marlo Thomas, thank you so much.
Thank you. I've so enjoyed being on this couch.
Oh, thanks.
Well, look at you two, just totally hitting it off.
Absolutely. And Phil, if you are watching, the restrooms here they're right down the hall. Nice. And what a great idea for my wife.
The stories are fantastic.
Celebrating a birthday today, 39.
Yes.
And she has reinvented herself like 3 or 4 times, so it ain't over till it's over. It's a great book.
Can I just be honest? Your wife doesn't need to reinvent herself. She's pretty much perfect as
There
she
you
is.
go.
So,
Good.
yeah. All right. We love you, Mary Ellen.